Hey guys, my name's Grady Saxman and we're here at the Nashville Beat Suite. I'm here with my buddy Jimmy Alcock from DrumTacs, and I've been working on a track last couple minutes. He came over, we were hanging out, and he brought DrumTacs over, which I had yet to use. A lot of guys in town here in Nashville are using them. I've heard a lot of really great things, but I've yet to try them myself. So I've been working on kind of more of an experimental track where I've been wanting to experiment with different tones. And Jimmy was like, hey man, let me bring these tacs over and see what you think. So he's going to explain a little bit of the technical aspect. I just know they really help focus the sound that I'm hearing in my head into reality. So they work for me.
Yeah, DrumTacs were a product I discovered probably 2 years ago now as a player first. I started using them live at first to kind of help focus my tone. I'd been using gaff tape and other products up until that time, but I kind of found that DrumTacs worked the best, batter heads, resonant heads. But since, a lot of friends and myself have found they work really well and are very noticeable as kind of instruments in their own right in the studio. And not only did they focus the sound, help with tuning and overtones and making your engineer happy, but you can almost use them as their own creative instrument, whether you're using it to really dry out a cymbal, which is some ideas we kind of used for this track.
Right.
You know, bringing that snare drum back to a little bit more of a dry thud. They're just endless options. So when Grady told me what he was looking for, I said, hey, let's give these a shot, see what you think. So we came in, gave them a whirl. I know we've got some of a track recorded without the tacs, and then I think Grady's going to show you a little bit about what we discovered with the tacs.
Right. So this is the track I was working on before Jimmy got here. Cool. So not bad. You can hear in the track that cymbal is really kind of ringy. It's more of an experimental, almost drum and bass kind of thing. So I don't really want it to feel like a drum kit in a big room. I kind of want like a closet drum kit kind of sound. Same thing with the snare. It's real ringy. It has a long tail, a long decay, and the hi-hats are very live too. So I think I found what I like with the DrumTacs. I have them on the snare and the cymbals, and let's go across the room and I'll show you what I'm doing with them. So I'm using one DrumTac on the edge of my cymbal here. You can see it's just right on the top. I have it farther away because I find it gives me the driest sound. I'm really going for an earthy sound from this ride cymbal. I'll play what it sounds like without the DrumTacs so you can kind of get an idea. Right, so this sounds fine. It's a good sound, but for what I'm doing today, I really want it to be dry and earthy. So this is what it sounds like with the tac on the edge. One thing that you'll notice immediately is stick definition becomes a lot better. So it's a real percussive track, like a drum and bass type thing. So I want to get a lot of that stick definition from the cymbal. It's a really light cymbal too, so initially it just doesn't have that on it. I'll show you what it sounds like kind of in the center of the cymbal. That's kind of a marriage between you know, that really dry earthy sound and not having it on at all. So. So yeah, and that's a good sound too. Again, for what I'm doing, I really want it to sound as dry and earthy as possible. So on the very edge of the cymbal is what works for me. And the cool thing about these DrumTacs is that it's not an adhesive, it's a polymer. So you can clean it up and, you know, wipe the bottom of it with some rubbing alcohol, and it stays just like new for an extremely long amount of time. I'm also doing the exact same thing on these hi-hats. I just want them to sound extremely dry. So I've placed the tac right on the edge of the cymbal, and I also have a tac on the bottom of the hi-hat as well, just to really dry those up. And then I actually cut a DrumTac in half for the snare drum, and I've been kind of experimenting with like placing them two different spots. I'll play what it sounds like without it on there. It's already, I mean, it sounds fine, but you put 2 tacks on there, and it'll really help get you that more of that dead sound. So yeah, so that's how I'm using them for this particular track, and I'll go ahead and play you a sample of it. Alright, so that was with the DrumTacs on the drums, and now we're going to do a quick A-B comparison, first without the tacks, and then it's going to roll right in to the take I did with the DrumTacs. So yeah, 9-day difference, and very happy. That was the sound I was trying to dial in from the beginning, so thanks for
Yeah,
bringing
of
that
course.
over.
Just another tool in the toolbox.
Definitely.